Oh, I have to hit OK. Forgot about that. Yes, I understand.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us here today at Levittown Public Library's posture alignment class with Kimberly. Today is June 6th, roughly around 11 o'clock in the morning. Go ahead, Kim.
Thank you very much, Hitomi. Okay, guys, welcome back. I'm sorry I'm doing this whole thing online as well as with you. It really splits my mind. So thank you for bearing with me with the whole, hey, Kim's on the phone while we're out here thing. It's not the case. But now I get to just pay attention to you guys. Before we get started, it's been two weeks since we saw each other last?
Yes.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions of what happened before then? Anything that popped up for you? Anything that you want to see, don't want to see? Nothing. You guys love me beating the crud out of you. Okay, then that, great. I get sure, why not go for it? Okay. Let us start out. All right, everybody's on Zoom, so you need to know what you're going to use today. We're going to need at least one block and a strap. And you're going to need your chair for static back stuff. And everybody's got that out there. So let me ask you guys, what are some of the very first moves that you love to do right off the bat? Static back. It's like, okay, static back it is then. Let's do static back. 5 minutes, static back, everybody. Let me just set the timer.
This is a chance to kind of calm down and relax.
Thank you, Marie. Okay, so one of my students is saying that they enjoy static back right off the bat because it gives them a chance to calm down. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay down on the floor. We're going to put the legs up onto a chair as close to 90 degrees as we can. And it usually takes about 5 minutes for this move to get to work in the body. Sometimes it takes 10 minutes. Sometimes if it takes longer than 10 minutes, I will give the person another move. This is a 5-minute long move. Some of you have different head positions, and I'm just demonstrating this for the people on Zoom so that you know, static back. Yep, I know most of you know it. I know Barbara's out there and you got Lauren out, everybody's out there. You guys know what you're doing. So you're going to take a static back for 5 minutes. But for those of you that don't know, if your head is in such a position that when you lay down, you're actually looking behind you, then what I want you to do is grab yourself a little pillow and put it underneath your head. Where do the arms go in this position? Anybody out there remember? Yeah, about 45 degrees from your hips. From your hips. In a perfect world, which way would your palms be facing? Palms up. Can anybody tell me why? Because it gets your shoulders back, right? Does everybody feel that? We're using gravity to pull the body gently into position. Is everybody comfortable in this position? Yeah. And some of you are new to me. In the very least, you're new because I've only seen you on Zoom, or I haven't even seen you on Zoom at all. And this is the first time that I'm meeting you. So this is an excellent chance for you guys to pick my brain. And I'm walking around because I want to make sure everybody's cool. I'm looking for positions. Okay. I know you were explaining to me something was going on with your shoulder. So which one is? So your right arm is limited. Your left arm isn't.
Yeah, I'm still not like that.
Okay. So bring your left arm down where your right arm. There you go. And go palms up if you can on that side. Right arm, just do whatever it's willing to do. Do you feel straight?
Mm-hmm. Am I too far up?
No, it's not too far up. I'm looking at where your legs line up. And if you pick your head up, you might be able to see your knees are kind of over to the right. And then your rest of your body, which you can't see, does this.
Oh, no kidding.
So I would walk your hips to the right. There you go. And then walk your shoulders to the right as well. Hang on right there.
Funny, now I feel crooked.
Yeah, now you look crooked, but from the mid down to your legs is okay. Undo what you just did with your shoulders. Keep your butt where it is. Instead of walking shoulders laterally, I want you to twist and do that. There you go. Now bring your arms to a more even position. See how your left arm is way higher than the other? You got to use your eyes for that, my dear. See that difference?
Mhm.
Okay, now bring both of your arms down to 45 degrees instead of out to this T. There you go, right there. Walk your head to the left about 2 inches. Feel weird?
A little.
A little?
I'm discombobulated.
Just crooked, that's all. Just crooked. And we're all crooked. It's very true. Looking good, Denise. Everybody looking good. You feel okay?
Yes.
Great,
Mhm.
great. Beautiful. One more minute. Remember, the more you do these corrective exercises, the more you interrupt your body's normal pattern of whatever the heck it memorized over the decades of life, it's going to auto-correct itself. But since I'm here, I am going to nitpick because I see things that you are not able to see because you're laying on the floor. So I'm able to look down your body and see where's your knee, where's your hip, where's your shoulder. It's not because I hate you, because you all know that I do. Love you to death. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. You guys are going to make it so I have to bring 2 bags of blocks, just like I used to all the time. We had 20 people here in a nice, good class. Let's bring it back up to that. As far as this list goes, it says I should have 20 people here. And that's how it's been. And we went from 4 to 8 today. So thank you for showing up. Thank you so much. All right. Next move. What's the second move that everybody enjoys doing after this move? Ooh, nice one. Another good one, yes. And another good one. Boom, we've got our next 3 moves. They're really easy. We're gonna stay in static back for this. We're gonna go into pullovers. So you're laying on your back. And the reason why we like to adjust the shoulders while we're doing the first bits of our menu is because the shoulders talk to your hips. So we're gonna reach the hands straight up towards the sky, interlace the fingers, palms stay touching. Elbows stay straight, drop your arms backwards overhead towards the floor behind you and bring them right back over your chest. It's a back and forth movement. And if it hurts your shoulder, don't do it. I'm sure you guys remember seeing videos of me post stupid surgery. And I wasn't doing these moves. And then I started doing them and they got better and better and better. But I listened to my body. So I assume you guys are doing the same. Palms touch, elbows straight. Lock them out right there. Now go. Do not touch the floor if you have to bend your elbows to get there. Does everybody get that? Yeah. You've got to reteach your back how to cooperate with your hips and shoulders. Usually we do 30 of these. Takes maybe 2 minutes sometimes to finish that. So I'm just going to keep the timer on so that I keep on talking. It's a back and forth movement. So we're doing static back pullovers. Can this pullover move be done in any other position? Yeah, I love it in frog position. I love it in frog position. Has anybody ever done this with legs up the wall? Mm-hmm. Hip flexion abdominals position. This move is really hard in hip flexion abdominals position where your knees are curled up towards your chest and you're trapped against the wall. This move gets even harder. We could do frog up against the wall too and trap your legs. Good, elbows nice and straight. Beautiful. You okay, Marie? You feeling any pain? Okay, good, good. Somebody else just showed us reverse presses. Remember where your arms go in this position, how far they go, what it feels like, because now we're going to change how that feels. You're going to stay in the static back position. We're going to do reverse presses. So you're going to bring your arms to this kind of goalpost position. And you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together over and over and over again. It's a light squeeze right between your shoulder blades. But your arms are in the goalpost position. Now I'm going to walk around, elbows rest on the floor, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Good, Denise, hardcore. It's a light squeeze. Walk your elbows a little closer to your body. Perfect. Now look left and right and make sure your arms are the same. Fair. Keep going. Squeeze, release. It's a light squeeze though, everybody. In fact, you know what? Everybody give a really hard squeeze there and notice. Squeeze as hard as you can. Notice how your sternum starts lifting up towards the sky, right? That's what we don't want. We don't want that. You want it to be right in between your shoulder blades. Does anyone feel this in their neck? Okay. Does anybody feel this in their upper trapezius, like where the shoulder meets the neck? If you're feeling that, I want you to bring your elbows closer to your body, like that 45-degree range. Try again. Keep going. So what's happening is instead of your shoulder blades, the rhomboids and the mid trapezius doing the work, the upper traps and the neck are taking over. So we're trying to get the right muscles to recruit here. If it got better by bringing your arms closer to your body, then you could take it a step further and bring your arms out to that 45-degree angle that we started out with in static back and try your squeezes there. If you definitely feel your squeezes when your arms are in this position while laying on the floor, you definitely feel them between your shoulder blades, then that's where I'd like you to stay and you could start moving and progressing towards bringing them out and getting them up here. Give me a few more squeezes there, everybody. And functional test time, we're going to head back to the pullovers, keep the legs in the same position so we compare apples to apples, and go to your pullovers and notice what's different. It can be better, it can be worse. I never say it can be the same because we just did something to the body and we gave it enough time to give it some change. Usually the change is positive and beneficial. Okie dokie. Now, the other move that somebody demonstrated to me as the other move that they like doing on the floor is a toughie. And we're going to do it without the chair. It's called hip lift. So you're just going to kind of scooch away from your chair a little bit. I will give you the opportunity to leave your feet on the floor if this is too hard for you, but you ladies are hardcore. So we're going to do it hardcore style. I'm going to show you guys in the video just from the front what this looks like. We're going to cross the right ankle to the left knee. Notice how I keep my foot in line with my hip, and then the leg is going to come up in the air. I'll show you from the side. It looks like this. So my right knee will draw away while my left knee pulls in. No hands. All this should be done through the hips. So everybody who's laying on the floor, I know, I memorized. So anybody who's laying on the floor, we're going to start from this position with our feet pointed straight ahead. And if this is too difficult for you, you can absolutely stay on the floor and just kind of give it, okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's enough. Absolutely. But we're going to hold 1 minute each side. So start out, feet pointed straight ahead, your hip distance, cross the right ankle to the left knee. Notice how your body is twisting, if at all. I don't want your whole body to start contorting to the side to lift the leg. We want to be pretty clean with the form. Everybody ready? 3, 2, 1, lift. Remember, right knee draws away from you via the hip muscles. Left knee pulls in towards you via the hip muscles. Good luck. Pick your nose with them. I don't care what it is. Arms are relaxed at your sides if you can relax them. Does anybody notice while they're pulling their left knee in that their whole body is contorting to get it done? That's called compensation. You might have to put your foot back on the floor take a break and try it again without doing that compensation. So I don't want your, it would be called the quadratus lumborum kicking on here. This should all be hip flexor, glute, your butt muscle, all hips. You got 10 more seconds left. Suck it up and work with me. Right knee draws away from you. Left knee pulls in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done. Switching to the other side. You guys are better than the losers over at Crunch. My goodness, every time I gave that to them, I heard nothing but whining. It's probably why I got fired. Everybody ready? Everyone ready? 3, 2, 1, lift. So we're just doing the other side. So now the right knee is pulling in, left knee draws away. Try to adhere to those 90-degree angles, everybody. This move is called hip lift. The easier version of this is assisted hip lift, where your foot is on the wall. Wouldn't that be nice? You're not.
Something, what is this that I feel pulling when I do this?
Looks like the very top of the hamstring. It could be the very side of the glute max. That should be doing work enough for that knee to come out like this. It should be.
So it's okay that it's a little.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure it is. As long as you're not compensating like sitting like this, you just work with what you got. You're welcome. Knee drops, femur rotations, a little hip crossover stretch beforehand, maybe a little frog might help make this easier. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. Was that too bad? No? I see some of you already going into frog and some of you already doing knee drops. If you guys want to do either or, doesn't bother me. The best part about this is that that's your body telling you what it needs now. So I'm going to give you guys the chance. You can do frog, you can do knee drops, or you can just lay there, whatever you want to do. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. And knee drops are keeping the feet pointed straight ahead. So we're actually focusing on driving from the hips. And your knees get this kind of windshield wiper movement going with them. So I'm giving you guys 2 minutes to work. Pick one or the other or both. All the way over, my dear. All the way over. Try to reach the floor when you do your knee drops. All the way. Reach and reach. Back and forth. Back and forth. It's not a reach and a hold. But if you are doing that, because that feels really good right now, that's you listening to your body, so go for it. Back and forth. The further apart you stance your feet when you do the knee drops, the more internal rotation you're going to get out of the femurs, and you'll start feeling some different stuff. The closer your feet come to each other, the more external rotation you'll get. Good. 1 more minute of stuff. It's a good one. Very nice job, Marie, keeping the feet pointed straight ahead, keeping them parallel. Lovely. So keeping the feet in that position while you do your knee drops is very important because it starts to ignite the muscles in the arches of your feet. You might get cramps there. That's why keeping them straight ahead is important. You get cramps sometimes when we do the hip crossover stretch, any planks, the Goscu style planks. Oops, I used the E word. Lovely, everybody. I'm going to flip you over for a static extension position. I'm going to give you the opportunity to do it elevated if you want to. Only if you guys have done it before, because these chairs are pretty tall. If you haven't done elevated, then don't try it. That's the original static extension, is elevated. Static extension position is doing it on hands and knees with no elevation. So either way, whatever we do, And if you don't want to do static extension, you don't have to. You could do a cats and dogs sitting in a chair. That'll work. You can even do a forearm stretch against the wall. That'll trap the shoulders. So it starts on hands and knees. Knees are apart the same distance as your hips. Remember, that's a little bit bigger than your fist. So you want to keep that distance between your hip joints and your knee joints. I'm going to put the hands as wide as my shoulders are, wherever that joint is. But what I'm going to do differently, instead of cats and dogs, is move the hands forward 6 inches. So I put my palm where my fingertips are. It's a small movement. And now you can see my shoulders are behind my wrists. I want my shoulders on top of my wrists. So I do this. And what that did was put my hips in front of my knees, which is going to load my hip flexor. That's what this move is about. Drop your shoulder blades together and hang like the sway back horse. We're going to hang for 2 minutes. I'm taking static extension on the chair. So this one, pregnant women love this one. This is the goodie. So whichever move you're doing, the one that's elevated, we're going to do 1 minute less. So you guys out there on the floor, you got 2 minutes. Anybody who's doing elevated has got 1 minute. Same setup though. See, my hips are still forward of my knees. So I'm loading the hip flexors, but as you can see, if you're doing it elevated, you got an awful lot of load on the shoulders. Listen to your body. So don't do this one-handed. Instead, roll over on your back and do frog just like we did, because that's just going to throw you off and add a twist to your body. Perfect. Just lay on your back and take frog for 1 minute and 30 more seconds. She hates the what? Oh, frog. Lay your feet on the floor. Why are your legs up in the air? There you go. Is that better? Yeah, there you go. Just rest there. 1 more minute left for everybody. Denise, I'm coming over. You okay? Oh, you're going to back up an awful lot because you're way too far forward. Back up, back up, back up. Right there. Now put your hands underneath your shoulder. Walk them backwards. Walk your hands backwards. Backwards. Now straighten your elbows. Does that feel better? Yep. Yeah. That's why you hate this move, because you're basically planking. You've walked out so far, it probably hurts your back, right? Forward. Drop in. Elbows straight. Good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Shift your weight forward. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Walk your hands forward. Shift your weight. Right there. Drop in. Right here. It's like the reverse presses that we did on the floor. Remember those? Good. Elbows straight. Shift forward. 10 more seconds for you. Elbows straight. Walk your hands backwards so they're right under your shoulders, but stop shifting your butt. Keep your hip right there. That's it. Elbows straight. Lock them out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're done. Done. Yeah. That's not an easy move to do. It's not. But doing it right might make it harder or easier. A lot of people who do the static extension, especially when I'm just talking them through it and I'm not there in person, they end up here and here. Ow, right? Whoa, what's going on? Hands under shoulders. Oh, a little different. So when something feels wrong to you, it's probably because it is wrong. If anything, it's wrong to your body and what your body's presenting in the moment. So listen to it. I don't know squat. So, oh, yeah, Kim said do it this way. If it hurts, please stop. Stop, because I don't know what I'm doing. Just consider that. All right. I want to grab the blocks and the straps. So grab your strap first. And let's do calf and hamstring stretch. Okay. This strap might be too short or too long is okay. Too short for some of you. We want to trap the ball of the foot in the strap, and we're going to lay down on the floor. So if it is too short and you can't hold both sides while we're doing this move, you can just put the loop in and you can loop the whole foot and hang on to just one end of the strap. This is calf and hamstring stretch. It starts in the hook lying position, and you're going to keep one leg in the hook lying position. That's going to determine where the other leg goes. So the thighs are going to stay parallel. So when I put this other foot out with my awful tan line, it looks terrible. I better go to the tanning salon. That's what I get for working on the water now. I got white feet and tan legs. It's terrible. It's like, what are you, sick? What do you have? So we're going to keep the knee straight. You're going to trap the foot. So figure out if you're using both sides of the strap or if you're going to do the loop. And what we're going to do is give 80% of this effort to hold the leg there with our leg. So the ankle is in dorsiflexion, the heel's pushing away, the leg is super, super straight. See how I let go of the strap and I can still hold my leg? That's where I want most of this work to take place. The strap is just here to kind of stop it from swinging left and right and to help pull the ankle into dorsiflexion, also to hold the foot nice and even. As you might notice that your big toe side kind of pulls to you a little bit more than the pinky toe side. So you can manipulate that using the strap a little bit, not too much. But I want you to pay attention to the alignment of your knee, your ankle, your toes, because you're going to mess with this while you're here. So if it doesn't look right to your eye, play with it. Best way to do this is with bare feet, but if you got shoes on, it's not going to kill you. I'm just going to stay 1 minute each side. Remember, 80% of the work is getting done with the leg. 80%. So if you drop that strap, you should be able to hold the leg there. Remember, your thighs must stay parallel. We're going to go deeper later, but your thighs have to stay parallel to each other. That doesn't mean moving the leg that's on the floor. That means moving the leg that's in the air. That leg that's on the floor is going to stay there. That's the determining angle for the other leg that's in the air. Everybody okay? Time. We're going to move on to the next. If that was too tough for your leg, then you're just going to switch. But I'm okay. So I'm just going to keep going on the same leg and put the strap right in the middle of the foot. And now we're going to take it further. You're going to put your footprint on the ceiling. Again, I'm using my hips to do that work. I'm not pushing into the foot on the floor. This is not a bridge. This is not a bridge. So I'm using my hips to pull that leg back, and I'm using the strap, like 20% little help, little bit of help. Your butt stays on the floor. It must stay on the floor. Must. Knee must stay straight. This is not about stretching. This is about getting work into the hip so that it can remember how to hold itself straight. Looking beautiful out there. Is your left knee bent? Drop your leg closer to me. Lock out your knee. Oh, it was.
Liar.
Right, total liar. So everybody, lock out your knees. Well, actually, drop your leg an inch. Lock out your knee. Now pull your leg towards you, keeping the knee locked out. You guys are cheaters, right? Your body is a lazy POS, okay? It's designed to be that way. It's trying to save energy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done. Switch your side. We're going to go back to the first move. Put the strap on the ball of the foot. It's trying to save energy. That's what it's doing by saying, hey, the glute doesn't want to do work. Let's force all of this work into quadricep. Who cares if she ends up with knee problems down the road? We're trying to conserve energy. So it's going to do that. We got to pay attention. Ball is on the strap. Strap is on the ball of the foot. Ankle dorsiflex. Pull your toes towards you. Do not do Barbie foot here. No ballerinas. Thighs are in line with each other. Parallel. Heel is pressing away. Knee is super straight. If you were to drop your strap right now, would your leg fall? Test it. Let go a little bit. Good. Make sure you're doing this work with your hip. About 30 more seconds. You can put a little tension back on that strap. That was just a test for yourselves. It's a test for yourselves. Knee stays straight. That does help to straighten the knee. I do that. So the question was, should we be flexing our foot? That's what I meant by saying plantar flexion, dorsiflexion. Plantar flexion is taking the ankle and pointing the toes away from you like a ballerina. That is plantar flexion. dorsiflexion is pulling the toes towards you. You guys can feel that difference, what happens in your thigh and in your hip when you do that. That's why I'm asking that the ankle hold in the dorsiflex position. It's forcing your hip to turn on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next move, shift the strap to the center of your foot. Do not pull back on the strap first and then try to straighten your knee. It will not work that way. Straighten your knee, then pull your toes towards your nose and get your footprint on the ceiling. Keep trying to get that knee to touch your chest. Do not use the leg that's in the floor. I'm catching a lot of people, even I used to do it. I'm pushing into the floor using my other leg. Nope. Let that lay at rest. All this work is in your right leg, right hip.
And before you said this is not a stretch, but
Mhm.
it really feels like.
Absolutely, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't it? Yeah. If it was just a stretch, I wouldn't be focusing so much on 80% of the work in your leg and 20% in the strap. I just say, grab that strap and pull it until you feel something and stay there. But there's a lot more going on here. I want that hip flexor to remember how to work. So on the front side of your body, I'm asking work, take place. So that on the back side of your body, in the hamstring and so on and so forth, that now reminds itself, okay, the front side is turned on. I can now do my job, which might mean, hey, I need more stretching. I need the tissues to let go. Yeah, so 2 things happening at once. Want to stay here for another hour? No? Okay, come out. Come on out. Good. Okay, grab your block, put that between your knees. Let's do a little bit of a reset. We're going to stay in the hook lying position and just do a little reset by adding some strength moves in a bilateral position. Hook lying, knee pillow squeezes. I'm going to do 60 of these or about 2 minutes worth of work. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release. It's like Thigh Master. Make sure your feet stay in line with your hips. Make sure your feet also stay parallel. Sometimes you might want to turn the block so that it gives you the width of 6 inches instead of 4 inches. So instead of the depth of the block being 4 inches, you're going to turn it so that you access its width, which is 6 inches. That might be good for you, Carol. So maybe turn that block a bit, because as I'm looking, I see your feet stanced out way wider than your knees. So there's this kind of going on. So turn it this way, Carol, so that you get the 6 inch. Yeah, there you go. Give that a shot. Give that a shot. In fact, the E word blocks that I have at home, they're not 4 inches, they're 6 inches. So they're about the width of this block. Everybody looks great out there in TV land. But you're not in TV land, you're in real land now. Welcome back. Good. What's this move doing? And I don't want to hear Marie on this one. She's always answering these questions. What's this move doing? Good, good girl. She feels it a lot in her inner thighs. Are you toning your inner thighs? Oh, perhaps. Did anybody feel a pop in both of their hips when they first started pressing? Nobody, huh? That they didn't feel a pop? Oh, well, every time I apply this pressure, it actually adjusts my hips. It's like a chiropractic adjustment. So if you're applying pressure in the knees and the hips can't go anywhere, just go, out they go. Just wondering if you guys feel that too, but you don't. We are going to move on from this move, but we're going to keep the block in between the knees. We're going to do rocking chair. Rocking chair. So we're going to move the ankles from dorsiflexion to plantar flexion. And both of the feet are going to come up and back, up and back. Heel, toe, heel, toe. They're going to have a tendency to walk away from you. So you'll have to reset every now and then. Rocking chair. Heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. Yes, yes, you are. But I'm going to come over by you, but I want you guys to pay attention to keeping your feet stable, straight, and steady. So it's just like when we do those 3-position toe raises, if you guys have ever done those with me. You know how I've lifted up and you could roll the ankles out to the side? We don't want that. You want them to stay nice and pretty. Retrain and reteach your ankles how to coordinate themselves while you're doing this hip work. Just told you what this move is doing. Darn it, I wanted to ask you that question. Doing okay otherwise? Yeah. Good, good. How are you doing?
Good.
You gonna come back?
Yep.
Really?
Sure.
Don't make a liar out of yourself. I'll find you. She's got a smile on, I believe her. Good. Whoa, pick your head up and look at where your legs walk to. Walk your feet over to there you go, right there. Try it there. Did I not catch that like way earlier? All right, now we're straight. It is nitpicking, but sometimes, how many of you have been there when I've given you like an inch worth of an adjustment and it felt all the difference, right? So I am nitpicking as I walk around. Let's make it harder. 20 pullbacks. No more rocking chair. Let's just do it. So you're going to keep the knees right in place, hanging onto your block. You don't have to squeeze hard. You're going to pull the knees back until they're maybe in line with your belly button, and extend your knees. So the feet come up to the sky and then flex, replace on the floor. Give me 20 of those. If something hurts, if something sucks, dorsiflex your ankles, then don't do it. Full revolution from the floor all the way through and back down to the floor. Good question. Don't drop that block. Try not to let your ankles touch either. Nobody's is. I don't see anybody's ankles touching. These are called pullbacks. Keep your ankles dorsiflex though. Yes. And you get a chance to look at your feet and how your ankles are working. I know they're hard. That's why I gave them to you. Wait till we do push-ups, jumping jacks, side unders. I think we'll have time for that. Let's do it. Shame is that we don't have a whole lot of wall in here. You'd think after the renovation, things would get better in that regard, but no. Looks pretty, but there's not a lot of wall. Darn it. I think we can do it though. We're gonna do it because you need it. Drop it, everything. You finished your 20, right? You did 50? You did 50, all right, cool. We're gonna do wall stork. And I don't care if you guys use that wall, use this wall up here. This whole room is your oyster. You want some hot sauce? I got it. Wall stork looks like this, and I'm giving it to you because I'm here and I'm able to actually adjust you rather than the past 2 years where you weren't able to get anything out of me. I'm standing against the wall. You're going to use your chair for this. I'm going to put one foot up on top of the chair in the same line as my hips. So I'm not going to shift off to the side to do it. So I want to be nice and clean with it. I put my foot up on top of the chair. I'm going to come around to help adjust you because there's a tendency for people to kind of do this or this. It's going to make all the difference. These are slippery, so that's going to stink, but we're going to work with it. You want to stay in that same alignment, knee, ankle, hip, all vertically aligned. That's what's going to force the work to turn on. Grab a chunk of the wall and let's get to it. This is wall stork. Bring your chair with you. They might not slide on there. Good for you. Any chair will do. Wall space up here, plenty of it. I don't think so. I'm turning this to the side so that nobody's going to be in film if they don't want to be. If you're worried about that, you grab some space up front. Let me feel the lip. Slightly. You afraid of the white wall? There's plenty of room up there. Grab a space on that wall up there. Mhm. Don't worry, you're not being filmed. It's not a knee, it's a foot. It's a foot. Mhm. Okay. Heels on the wall. Heels on the wall. Mhm. Feet hip distance. What if your butt sticks out?
Yeah, because I think it's very hard for me to go close to the wall.
Mhm. You don't have one of the real big ones that's forcing you to do this.
No, not that big.
It's going to feel awkward at first, but when you put your foot on the chair, it's going to change that. So give that a shot. Put your foot on the chair in front of you. Start with the heel on the wall, put your foot on the chair in front of you. This is a 3-minute long remove, so I've got enough time to run around and make adjustments. Does everybody feel okay? Here comes the hard. Let's start right here. It's okay. There's plenty of room up top. Come on. Come on up. Because this lip, I think you're right about that. Come on, take a walk with me. You could use my chair that I stuffed up there. Ready? I'm going to put my fingers on either side of your hips and just shift your weight to your right. Right? I know, feel that difference? You're all that crooked because in order to put your foot on top of the chair, you have to put your weight on one leg, right? So you're going to do this, which is going to set you up to be crooked. Can you pick your right foot up off of the chair easily? Right, that's what you want. You don't want to be able to pick up your foot off the chair easily. Okay? Good. Actually looking pretty good. Can you pick this foot up off the chair easily?
I don't think I could pick it up at all.
I think you're pretty good. A lot of work there.
Yep.
A lot of work here.
Yeah.
Good. Ready, Carol? 90 degrees. Don't move the foot. Keep it right there. That's where the work's going to take place. Oh, you want to move it so bad. I know. I know. A little different. You okay?
Yeah.
Can you stay? 1 minute and change left. Foot completely on this. Turn that foot straight. Ready?
Oh my.
Right? Do you guys miss this? Don't you miss this?
That's a big difference.
And that's what the guys always say. 2 inches is a big difference. That's a big difference. Yeah, honey. That's why I got a new boyfriend. Ready?
Yep. Oh, because I'm yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Can you hold?
Yes.
Ready, Denise? Oh, you're going to like this one. There was this going on. You okay? It looked awesome. What are you doing tonight? How you feel, Marie?
Okay.
Look great. Can you lift that foot up easily?
No.
Good. 10 seconds.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
I was like in that position holding the wall. Did that do something like, does that hurt me or?
It doesn't hurt you. And because there's so many people to adjust and speak my words, usually I ask people to do that incorrectly that way so that they can fix it. It's not going to hurt you, but there was one client that I had, he didn't have a stable hip. So every time he put weight on this hip, he took a step, it would do that. You don't have that problem, obviously, but we're doing this corrective exercise for a reason. So we want to make sure that we're keeping our form to some degree so that we can remind the body what to do. Everybody ready to switch? You can stay there if you want to, because I corrected you. But here's the other thing that I do in this move. You've heard me, if you've been with me over the past 2 years, I have you screw it up and then fix it so that I don't have to do that little adjustment. But not everybody has that problem. So sometimes I do it in my left hip, but not my right hip. And one's a little less stable than the other. So it may show up, it may not. heel on wall. So your heel's on the wall. The other foot comes up onto your chair. Remember, that foot that's on the chair, you should not be able to pick it up easily. If you can, then you probably have all your weight on the leg that's standing on the ground. So do the little shift. Here I come. Let me move the chair over so you can actually get your whole foot on there. Walk your left foot in. Good. Excellent at directions too. Feel okay? Feel like work? Looks good. Darn lip. There's like lips and things everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Makes things harder than it needs to be. Yeah. Do what you do what you can. Right in line with the hip. Picked a nice spot over here. I'll tell you.
hide?
Mhm. Can you pick this leg up easily?
I can't pick it up at all.
Good.
I can feel the difference.
Mhm.
Just that little shift, I can feel the difference.
Like somewhat evenly distributed?
Yes, good call. As evenly distributed as you can. But it's hard. It's hard to feel that. You should definitely be feeling the work in the leg that's bent in here and in here. Hamstring, it's pushing because it's holding weight. Maybe you're feeling it in the thigh if you're in a serious amount of compensation, but mostly the thigh that's straight on the ground.
I'm feeling it mostly in the
Mhm.
standing leg.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. It's a lot of work on the standing leg. Oh, sorry, you guys. Ready, Carol? Give you a little shift right there. Feel okay? Turn your right foot straight. Mm-hmm. There you go. Move your shoulders too. There you go. Good. A little harder or same? Okay.
Sure, not this way, I'll go that way.
You were doing this. So I like to call that the baby on the hip. Do the baby on the hip and then fix it. And then fix it. The fix it is where you need to stay. Time's up, unfortunately. Looks different on this side. Does it feel different?
Yeah.
There's none of the baby on the hip. None of that. Good. Everybody ready to get out of this? Good. Come on out of it. What are we going to do as a bilateral move to now interrupt that unilateral move we did? What would you like to do? Something hard? Air bench. We're already here at the wall. It's not going to work for you ladies with that funny lip over there. So there's a space up here if you'd like. Or yes, duh, that is good. That part is good. Air bench is, Rob works so hard to, okay, are you straight? Are you to, sorry, Rob. Air bench is putting your back up against the wall and walking your feet out in front of you. However, when you do it, you want your feet to be further away than your knees. So there's none of this heels behind your knees or even heels under your knees. You want your feet to be away because we're going to use the thigh muscles to push into the sockets so that the femurs are doing that, pushing your back against the wall. It really is a strong move. It takes any rotation out of the body that we might have put in via that last move. 2 minutes if you can stand it. If you can't, do 2 seconds. Hip distance. You have a tendency to hold your knees in this position when you do this. So either use your muscles to hold them there, or I'm going to give you this block and you're just going to hang on to that sucker. Good. If you're going to go any lower, your feet have to move further away from you because your heels are right underneath You want to grab some, you have a towel. Do you want to, yeah, towel ain't gonna work. Man, they make it hard around here. Everybody okay? Oh, that would have been a nice flat white wall. She's got the only one. So don't go so low. There is this move, hard, right? Yeah. 1 minute and 7 seconds left. Just gonna turn it so I could see myself over here. There's that, the move you're doing. There's also decline air bench. And believe it or not, the therapist that I worked with that taught me, this helps his knees. This helps his knees because it resets, oh, sticky, because it resets how his hips talk to his knees. It's a lot of work. 30 more seconds.
Do you do it from a slide down?
Slide down and stay, push your back into the wall. Push your back into the wall.
Oh. I'm not gonna get up.
Worst comes to worst, you sit your bottom on the floor. It's all right. So you sit your bottom on the floor. Yeah. Okay. Everybody slide down and sit down. You're good. Give it a little. Yeah, I know.
Can you stand up from there? Wow. You have to keep pushing.
Yeah. It's tough. That's a hard move. It's a hard move, but it does exist. It does exist, the decline air bench. It was good for his knees. So he was a posture therapist, E-word, like I am or was. So he had all of those exercises to pick from. I mean, we had piles of exercises, over 500. So as a therapist, when you're there, you just kind of start doing moves, because the point is to find out what your body is telling you and how we can not fix it because it's not broken, but yeah, help it feel better. So when you go through moves in certain sequences, you might realize, hey, when I do that frog position, it hurts my knees. But if I do knee drops beforehand, frog position is better for me.
I can't do frog right away. I have to do the.
Perfect. And this is just going to take time. This isn't corrective exercise for, oh, you got a knee problem, do A, B, C, D. Because it doesn't work for everybody. Everybody's got a different reason why they have a knee problem, right? So we always have to look at the posture. Look at the posture in front of you. Okay, that's way off. Do this to fix that. And then the body starts showing you results. It's why it's different than going to the doctor or popping a pill. Good? All right, everybody, come on back to your mats and stuff and whatever it is. Let's see if I can wind this, yeah, your chairs and your. All right, so guys in TV land, that's our last one, was our air bench, and we're finishing out with that. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for joining me.